What's up, you guys? This is Jay back with another video. You saw the title. Let's get into it. Well, this season for the Los Angeles Lakers, it's been pretty much what we all expected. They're still one of the best teams out in the Western Conference this year. And, with still half of the season now remaining, the Lakers definitely have to make some changes, especially since the trade deadline is on March 25th. So, that's just in about a few more weeks. And if one thing I've learned this season, though, so far for the Lakers is that getting Marc Gasol really wasn't as planned out as it's supposed to be. I believe, and as we all believe too, that Marc Gasol was still possibly capable of being a quality defender, rebounder, playmaker, and a shooter, things like that. He's all around a pretty solid big man with his abilities. But, he's older in age now, and he's not very athletic. And when the Lakers last season, they had Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, they were really solid at rim protection. That's what they provided. In my opinion, getting rid of JaVale McGee in the first place was just a big mistake for them, because JaVale McGee provided so much for them on the defensive end, and you're replacing him with Marc Gasol. And of course, Marc Gasol overall has had a better career. He's a more established name than JaVale McGee. But regardless of that, Marc Gasol is not the same Marc Gasol that he was almost, 4, 5, 6 years ago for the Grizzlies. But he can still possibly, come off the bench and provide good points. And that's what he's been doing for the Lakers. But he's not really the same player that he once was. And he had a really good role when he was on the Raptors and really helping them stop Giannis that season with Kawhi Leonard. And the Raptors were able to win an NBA championship that year. But really now, looking at the Los Angeles Lakers and their roster, they have a pretty talented team overall. And as we all know, though, that there's one team now who has a legitimate argument of now being the best team in basketball, and that's the Brooklyn Nets. We all just have to come to that conclusion now that the Nets, they're really legit. And I believe that really the only way the Lakers can actually, win, obviously, is, Anthony Davis being 100% healthy, LeBron still playing at his best, and obviously their bench unit, they have a solid bench as well, so they can all contribute. But a guy who can really help this team out a lot is Andre Drummond, who's on the Cavaliers alongside with JaVale McGee. And the Cavs, they've been trying to, they've been trying to increase the value, seeming like, Andre Drummond is such a big piece. And to tell you the truth is that many teams want Andre Drummond. He's a very talented player and what he can do for teams and what he can provide. But I believe if the Cavaliers trade him, they won't probably trade him to the Los Angeles Lakers. But if they end up buying him out of his contract, then Andre Drummond should definitely sign with the Los Angeles Lakers. It's a really good fit in my opinion because he's a great rebounder. He can defend. He's really what you would like to call now a traditional big man. He's an old school type of player. He doesn't really fit in this modern NBA, but what the Lakers need right now, what they lack is what he has. And adding him on the team is going to be a huge plus because, as I just said before, Marc Gasol really isn't a traditional style big man. He's a great facilitator. He can shoot, he can rebound, he can do all those things, but he's not really what they truly need. What they need is a guy who can attack the rim, who can grab boards at an even higher level, rim protect, and just play a true center position. And that's what Andre Drummond can provide for the Lakers with LeBron's amazing playmaking ability. And, imagine their closing lineup, because what the Lakers, they need that size. And depending what teams they play, Andre Drummond would possibly be in the closing lineup sometimes. I'm not saying all the time, because I believe that they're going to have Anthony Davis 9 times out of 10 playing the center position when it's in those really big moments. But Andre Drummond can still provide so much for this team and what they lack right now. Because overall, the Lakers, they have great shooting. They're one of the best shooting teams this season in the NBA compared to last season. They're a great defensive team. They have a loaded roster as well. Adding him will be the missing piece to what they need to really compete out against the Brooklyn Nets, because, the Brooklyn Nets, they have Blake Griffin now. And on the defensive end, they're not still going to be a really good team. But if the Lakers can get Andre Drummond, that is really going to set them apart. But let's be real. Trading JaVale McGee in the first place was just a dumb decision for the Lakers, in my opinion. Yes, Marc Gasol is a nice piece on this team, but you're losing that quality traditional style big man who can really block shots like how JaVale McGee did for the Lakers last season. And Dwight Howard as well. That's what made that team extremely dominant as well with their size, because many teams lacked that size that they had last year to just do what they want in the paint. But there's also some other guys who the Lakers are interested in targeting, like PJ Tucker, who could be another really great fit for this team, especially on the defensive end. We all know what he can provide on that. And, he can shoot corner threes, but really that's all he can really contribute. But they could use guys like him, especially, in those big playoff runs, who can really defend at a high level. Also, LaMarcus Aldridge. There's plenty of names out there that we're going to be hearing and discussing about. But we'll see what happens when, these guys officially they get dealt with. But I hope you guys enjoyed this brief video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more basketball content each and every week. Have a good day. Peace.